All right, welcome back to Sunday Nation and the expectations for our new Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Here to talk about it, two Detroiters, Edna Austin and Nzingha Masani-Manuel. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I wanted to have you in studio because I want to talk about, I know how passionate both of you are and how much you care about the issues affecting black people in the state of Michigan and in Detroit. And I wanted to know from you all your expectations of Governor Whitmer. She got reelected and she has 4 more years now to do for the people of Michigan, and of course I mean black people as well. I want to hear from you directly, what are some of your concerns, what are some of your issues that you would like Governor Whitmer to tackle, to take on for black folk in Michigan, in Detroit over the next 4 years. Nzingha, can I start with you?
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm a member of the Affordable Housing Task Force, and we have a lack of affordable housing in the city of Detroit. I'm on Mr. phone calls. Mr. Has a lot of video calls.
Right.
And my main emphasis is, what are you doing for the city of Detroit, for low-income population, for quality housing, and they've just been ignoring us. And so we want this governor to hear us and hear our demands that we want real, quality, accessible, affordable housing. And that's one, but I can have, that's one. But I have some other issues also that I want the governor to handle. But affordable housing is just too expensive in the city of Detroit.
That's right, that's right.
And we really need some quality, affordable housing that people in Detroit, see, we have people in the city of Detroit, Bankole, as you know, and I know you know, who were born and raised here, but they can't afford to live here anymore. It's too expensive to live here, and they have left. They have left the city.
So and more people are going to continue to leave if nothing is done about affordable housing. And I don't like how they use the word affordable, because it's really not affordable. That's true.
That's why I have to change the word. It should be low income quality. But we want, they always use that's a spin word. You know, a lot of developers are using now. And they don't think we're aware of it, but I'm very much aware.
They use it too because that's how they get into Detroit. And they make a whole lot of money. Quote unquote, building affordable housing, and they smile to the bank and quote unquote, you know, low income folks don't have access to those houses.
So this governor, we want her, this should be her first priority. Governors across the state of the United States are working on affordable housing. But what is this governor doing? I haven't heard anything. I don't know if you have, or if you heard.
I have not. Edna, your take. What's your top concern right now?
My top concern right now for the governor is to restructure and revitalize the school system of Detroit. We need that so badly. They do the head counts. The head counts is where the money's come from. Federal government sends the money in here, and she's supposed to be sending it to the school, and it's supposed to be used for the heads that they counted. But in other words, some of this money, the kids, the head count, never get used by the people that was counted. It be rerouted out to the other district, and the programs need to be restructured. And we need vital teachers. We need teachers that's very concerned about our kids learning. We have bright kids here. We have very smart kids, but it got to be brought out of them from the inside out. Within every student, in every person, our abilities waiting to be birthed. But somebody have to bring it out of them. And we need the teachers that's concerned. So we need different staff. We need accountability is one of the main things for the management of the monies, and we need people to oversee it.
But to your point though, Edna, because a lot of people have talked about this, and that is a lot of COVID money had come to the state. The state is sitting on a buttload of money as we speak. They're sitting on a lot of money. So the state being a champion for Detroit Public Schools, I think that's important. And you know, it's they can't say they have no money.
They can't.
You know, especially to take care of folk who put them in office. Black people show out for Democrats all the time.
Well, Governor Whitmer probably wouldn't have even won this if it wasn't for some of the black votes.
That's true. That is true.
Because
That's
it was getting close there.
Right.
But then, you know, a lot of the blacks voted for her.
Right,
And a lot
right.
of blacks in Detroit voted for her.
Right,
But
that's
she
true.
never, it doesn't seem like she's too concerned about Detroit citizens. Because on her speech, after she had won, I remember listening to it. And she was saying to the people in Grand Rapids that we're going to definitely continue on this. It was a corporation or business that they had started, and she was assuring them that they were definitely going to continue with it. But she hasn't said anything about continuing with these roads in the city of Detroit.
That's
these
right.
streets that I ride down every day, even
Yeah.
coming over here to the studio.
Right.
I'm riding down streets that look like spider webs in the street because they got liquid. What they're doing now, and they're just covering up little cracks, and all across the streets is spider webs. So this is what we got to deal with.
Right.
We don't have to deal with it,
Right.
but we're dealing with it because we don't have enough people that's going to speak up.
Yeah.
We don't have enough people that want to get together and unite and be that village that we
Right.
need. We need unity.
That's right. That's right. Nzingha, I think she raised a number of issues. The roads, IMS, when
Right.
you're driving, support for Detroit schools.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting, you know, the names that the governor mentions, you know, if she mentions Grand Rapids, if she mentions other counties and doesn't mention Detroit, does not mention Benton Harbor, doesn't mention Flint, I mean, something wrong with that, right?
Something is
Exactly.
wrong.
Yeah, she doesn't mention Highland Park. I'm from
That's right.
Highland Park.
Yeah, Highland Park. That's
Yeah,
right.
she doesn't
Yeah.
mention.
Yeah.
And I get very upset.
Right.
And I usually, people should email her, people should call the
Yep.
chief of staff. And I
Right.
know you probably have an action plan
Right.
you want us to do later.
Well, yeah. I
but,
want. I feel like,
wanna-
and this is the reason why I have you all in on the in studio, because I think she needs to hear from people.
Exactly.
You know, she needs to hear from real people.
Right.
You know, who have real concerns,
Right.
and she needs to hear from people who are active, who are in the trenches.
Right.
You know.
'Cause reparations is a word. I know
Right.
everybody's talking about reparations. I have not heard her speak about reparations.
right,
She used to support reparations
Right.
because black people voted for her.
That's right.
And I really think that's an overtaxation in the
Right.
city of Detroit.
And I want to talk about that, the overtaxation, because she's been
Yes.
very quiet about that issue.
Very,
Yes, she
very.
You know,
Yes.
She
the
hasn't-
state, there's something the state can do.
Oh yes, it's something they can do. They can do everything else they want to do.
Right.
That's right.
They overtaxed her, and they don't want to give it back. They took the pension money and used it to make interest off of it. They get rich off of other people's money. That's how it is.
That's right.
And they get rich off of the black people money in Detroit. We're taxpayers. We've been
Right.
paying taxes for a long time. Don't let us pay our taxes. And even with you taking the tax, paying the taxes, they're still trying to find ways to take your home from you. I mean, they're always after something, but they don't want to give anything back to the black. It's always pulling it away, taking it to the outsourcing it to
Right.
the suburbs, to their friends, their white kids. Our black kids need help too. Our black families need help. Our seniors, I'm a senior. My house is overtaxed $9,000. I would love to have my $9,000.
That's right.
I would love
That's
to
right.
have it.
Right.
And he's saying that he doesn't have the money, but he got money for people to pay Dan Gilbert $60 million and
That's right.
for the, what is this light called? The spotlight.
yeah. I call it the Tower of Babel.
That's
downtown.
what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, they want that, and they said they came out of another pocket, another avenue
Yeah.
to get the money. It's still the taxpayer money, whatever avenue. I mean, they are saying that Dan Gilbert is so good. He's like loaning people low interest for their home. Low interest, man, that's our own money.
Yes.
That's the money that was sent in here to rescue the homeowners in the first place. Dan Gilbert them have it in him with low interest that they're charging on. It's your money in the first place. It shouldn't be in the interest. The home should have been paid for and fixed up. They shouldn't have ever been lost and taken away.
Yeah. And the governor can weigh in on this overtaxation
Oh,
issue.
definitely.
Zinga.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
Oh
agree.
yes, oh yes.
Yes.
I mean,
She's
they can
been very quiet.
Yeah, they can create some sort of a legislation
Exactly.
and
Oh,
find
yes,
a way
they
to
you
address
can.
it. You know,
Right.
they can. You know,
That's
if
true.
there are no laws that says they create laws to take care of what they want to take care of.
Exactly.
Yes, they do.
You're right.
They rewrite them every day.
Yeah. What other issues aside from affordable housing, the schools that you would like to see the governor address, Nzingha?
I know my nephew said the same thing. Edna said about the roads.
Right, right.
She always talks about the roads, but
Yeah.
the roads haven't been completely fixed.
Yeah.
Some main streets have not been fixed. State roads should be completed by now.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the issue of jobs?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that.
Making sure that investments are coming
Definitely.
into the city of Detroit, and
Yeah.
jobs that will give people
And training, job training.
Right,
I mean, cut you
exactly.
off.
Workforce.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely. They should increase the money for the city of Detroit for job training. The 18 to 30 or all ages should be able to have job training if they're looking for a job, because they say they're not experienced and they're
Right.
not qualified.
Right.
But we need the state to send more money. And so,
Yeah. No, it's interesting you mentioned that, though, because I think sometimes the biggest excuse that they give us is that, oh, we're not qualified.
Exactly.
That black people are not qualified. But then you can provide money to train folk,
Exactly.
in other places and put them through the job, make sure they earn, livable or even more than livable wage. You can do the same thing in Detroit,
right, exactly.
And some of the excuse they use is they're overqualified. When
Yeah.
some people go to take the tests and they qualify you, and you're overqualified for this job. I mean, it's you over or you're under. Anyway, it's an excuse not to give you a decent paying job, a job above minimum wages. And $15 a job, hour job, a lot of people saying that it is so great. And yes, yes and no. Because when they take the taxes out of it, and some of the jobs don't
And
have benefits.
with inflation, $15 an hour is not great.
Yep.
No.
It's not.
It's not. It's not. It really isn't. That's why they can't afford to live here, because they're not making enough money.
Right.
So we haven't heard anything from her about her
Right.
economic plan for the city of Detroit. I went on her website. I know you've been on her
Right,
website.
right,
I haven't
yeah.
seen anything on there
Right.
on her website for economics for especially the city of Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point you made, because unless people say something, it's not going to get done.
Right.
And unless we point our finger on the issue, it is not going to get done. And too many times, they say, well, why you all are complaining? But black people voted for her.
Exactly. Yeah, they told us to wait till after election to give our. Didn't you hear that before?
Oh,
Wait till
yes.
after election. No, we wanted to give her our demands before the election. We want her to know how we feel now, so she can make the changes. Yeah, we need the changes. This is urgent.
Right.
In the city of Detroit, this is serious.
This is urgent.
This is
Yeah.
urgent.
This
we,
is
don't-
urgent.
we don't need to wait months.
It's like
Right, that's
9/11
right,
right
right,
now.
right,
9/11. We need this done now.
Yeah,
9/11.
yeah.
And
No.
we're the ones that the city's waiting on. We are the ones. We are the ones that's got to make the difference. We are the ones that's got to stand up for our rights. We're the ones that our children are waiting on, and they're hurting, and we feel them hurting. They don't
Right.
want to go to school. They're latching out because they want somebody to see me. Here I am. Can you help me?
Right.
Can you dry the tears from my? We are the ones. Blacks got to get together, and we not saying black because I have always pitched each other blacks against each other. We got the one down there town that's selling us out.
Right.
They're selling us out. They're selling their own kids out. They're selling their own great grandkids out and great grandkids, and they don't even realize what they're doing. They're putting them in debt before they even realize they're in debt, because they're signing all these proposals, and they due to be paid back 30 years. You got 2
Yeah.
or 3. Who's going to be? Are they going to still
Yeah.
be here?
You're right.
So who's
Yeah.
going to be here paying it back?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
already have them in debt. We need to awaken. We need to stand together. And this is my thing. Talking is not getting it done. It's
Right.
good to talk. It's good to write it down
right.
on the paper.
That's
Make
right.
it plain.
That's right.
But you got to take an action.
That's
Oh,
right.
definitely.
That's right. That's right. And I think the action is important, though, because that's what we're talking about now, about the need for the governor to take action. Stop the talk. You know
Right.
what the problems are.
Exactly.
Just do what needs to be done to help black people in Detroit and
That's-
across Michigan.
That's the bottom line. Yes, the majority of blacks
That's
are
it.
hurting.
That is.
Like
Yeah.
you said, you mentioned Benton Harbor, Highland
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah.
We can name the cities.
Flint, that's true.
Flint,
Yeah.
Ecorse,
Pontiac, yeah.
Pontiac. We can name the black cities that she has ignored.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and she should not be ignoring it.
Yeah.
She
Our
should not be.
cities. Yeah.
And we are the ones that have to speak up to keep her from ignoring it. And that's why Bankole over and over, and people, he keep repeating that over, and so repeat it over and over. Don't let it die. Don't let it rest. The Jews never let the Holocaust rest.
Exactly.
Don't let this rest about the overtaxation and the school system that they're failing its kids. And we're sitting back talking about, well, you know, they doing the best. No, they're not. We're not. If they're doing the best they can, then we're not doing the best we can.
All right, we'll end it right there. Thank you so much,
Thank
Edna
you.
Austin and Nzingha Masani-Manuel, two Detroiters passionate about the issues and what their bucket list, their demand list for Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And thank you so much. We'll be right back.